If we're not there, we're close. 20, I've said this before, 20 inches pumped is badass, but 20 inches cold, that's fucking diabolical. Right now I'm at about 19, maybe a little change on the bottom end, but hey man, if this bulk progresses well, 20 inches cold, could happen. Could freaking happen, we'll have to see. All right, come on. So we've still got forearms and little calves after this, but the main goal of the lift is now done. I certainly feel pumped. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, just hanging my fucking arms out in front of my body, yeah. Oh, even straightening them out like this, like my body feels so tight. Oh my goodness. No. Oh. Yeah. Dude, these mofos are most certainly inflated. I mean, I cannot touch my shoulders, not even fucking close. I mean, that's like 2 inches, and I'm really trying my best. When you get to a point where you can't touch your shoulders when your arms are fully pumped, then you're definitely making some progress. Plus, that's kind of a good indicator that you had a good pump. You know, when I'm cold, I can touch my shoulders, and when I'm pumped, I can't. So, tangible changes. You know, when you start to see shit like that, like the first day I did an arm day, and I couldn't touch my shoulder because my fucking bicep was running into my forearm. That's a pretty fucking good motivator, you know? So, it's always fun to hit those little fucking milestones. Let's, oh yeah, front lat spread. Yo, okay. What other arm poses are there? Yo. I think that is pretty much it, but dude, fucking bulbous. So with your biceps, you do have these little kind of funky striations right up in here, or at least some people do. And when I'm fully pumped, I mean, they pretty much totally go away. It's just so fucking swollen. So I'll say this, if you're concerned, this would be my last little pointer before I go do forearms. If you're concerned with the insertion of your bicep, like if you've got short insertions or long insertions, I mean, for me, I think I have, well, I'm fully pumped too. That kind of makes it look extra cool. But I don't know, I think I have medium insertions. Like there's a little gap of like just tendon in here before my bicep actually hits my arm. I mean, if you want a good fucking example of long bicep insertions, right? I think even just saying that, you know who comes to mind? The fucking Terminator Arnold. His biceps fucking, they may as well have attached to the middle of his forearm. They go so deep. So if you do a little flex and you're concerned that there's a little bit of space in here, over time as your biceps get bigger, you know, I'm not going to say it's going to fill in all the way, and you can't change where it actually inserts. But, you know, when I was a lot smaller, dude, I feel like I had like a 3-inch gap in between like this little end of the bicep and the forearm. So just by kind of beefing up your frame, and this goes for your whole fucking body, any kind of weird, funky imbalance that you might have, or let's say it's even just so small and minuscule that you're probably the only one that notices it. As you get bigger and you fill out, those little imbalances kind of just start to disappear. So don't get too freaked out effective, you know? And that's up to you to discover. That's up to you to realize and adjust from. But let's stop delaying the pump check and then get on with this fucking lift. Oh, goodness. So, that might get off. Those spotted pull downs, I like that a lot. I'm I'm definitely gonna fucking get spots on my pull downs from now on. Like I can do good sets of pull downs on my own, but that extra help just to get down to that fully squeezed position, dude, it's just fucking burning. Let's we gotta lose the tank. I don't even know why I put it on. Now it's just extra sweaty for no reason. But let's see how we're looking back pump wise. Oh my gosh. Oh, fuck. All right, now the same two fucking poses, but just in reverse. No. Go. All right. So I can't really see the back lat spread or the back double by. I'll have to review the footage. I've been meaning to bring in like a mirror, like with sticky pads or something, and put it on the wall so that I could see my reflection of my reflection and make on the fly adjustments like that. That'll kind of help you pose better. If you care about all this lifting shit, then you're probably going to be constantly looking at yourself shirtless, taking pictures or whatever. So if you're concerned about your posing, who gives a shit? But actually, contrary to that little state, you kind of do give a shit. You want to look cool. So, I don't know, just try to copy what other people do. You know, I remember I used to do my side chest real kind of closed in like this, but now it's gradually kind of improving. Whatever. The longer you do it, the better you'll get at it. Just focus on trying to get big instead of looking big, right? Like, if you're spending as much time editing your pictures as you are actually working out to get big for the picture, I think you've lost track. But let's go get rear delts going. Let's see how they look pump-wise. Yeah. When it's hard to take the shirt off, not a terrible fucking sign. So only 6 sets, like 2 less than 8, which I normally do. So the volume wasn't really even that different today. But the pump is clearly just as fucking good. Oh, goodness. Fucking fibers coming out of nowhere. Veins a little bit. We're, bulking. 2 weeks into the bulk. I shouldn't be too much softer. Probably a little, but for the most part, the only thing that's changed in terms of my weight isn't more muscle, and it isn't more fat. It's really just more water and carbs inside of all my fucking, muscle fibers. Because now I'm totally full. Well, let's not sit here for too long. The workout's not even over. We gotta go get a side delt pump, come back, then do calves, and then get in the car and actually I gotta go to fucking Kroger. I might turn this into a lift/grocery trip. We'll have to see. On their own, fully pumped, but yeah, let's see how tries are looking. Yeah, damn. Come on. So a tricep pump is pretty fucking freaky, especially because it really adds to the thickness of my arms, at least from the front. Maybe not just my arms, everybody's, but like just standing here kind of like this in a little bit of a front relaxed pose, I feel more fucking brolic because my triceps are just poking out over the ends. I mean, right now, even without flexing them, they're fucking tense. They're fucking full of blood. Like, I can't even touch my... Okay, I lied. I can touch my shoulders, but it's just from triceps being pumped alone, I almost can't. And then a full tricep pump with biceps unpumped, I mean, fuck. That double bi looked pretty freaky. Yeah. So that's what I want. I want my triceps to hang lower and have a really big sweep underneath my biceps. Honestly, I think right now, yeah, I think tries definitely need to catch up. No, so this is what I was talking about. So for the bicep, it's right here, kind of right below this vein. I feel a little bit of, just a little something. Like even when I curled those 50s, I could feel it just a little something. So not gonna hit buys. Part of me wants to just get a pump from the 20s, but I think it'd be better off to just let them chill. So let's actually hit some shots and then go do forearms and little calves. Dude, yeah, fucking tricep pumps in the lat spread too. It just looks fucking bigger. Like the bigger your triceps are, the further they jut out, and they just make my frame look larger. Like a front lat spread. Well, if you have huge biceps, Your front lat spread will get a little bit more impressive, but big buys, like having a ton of meat on the inside, it's not going to make you any larger. You know, I feel like this is all about fucking illusions. So big shoulders, big triceps, really making you wide up top. That is going to add to some freak factor without a doubt. Oh, dude, even just sitting here flexing. Oh my goodness. All right, can I even reach my arm around to get a good side tricep shot? Oh. Ooh. Yeah, so do you see that part that's poking out over the back, right? Like right behind my elbow? This big piece, that's the long head. That is what I want to build up on this bulk. That's obviously overarching goal. Get fucking huge, right? That's the point of the fucking bulk. But underneath of that veil, I do have kind of specific changes I want to make. Like I'd say I want bigger legs. Everybody wants bigger legs. But getting real niche with it, I want bigger triceps specifically. I think everything is pretty much in proportion. Obviously legs can be bigger, legs can always be fucking bigger. But right now, I'm liking how triceps look pumped with everything else unpumped. So I'm really hoping that adding in some more of that overhead dumbbell stuff and really hitting failure and get a huge stretch is going to help me achieve that. As well as, I mean, just fucking trying to up the intensity, right? Make sure I really push it. I could pick the perfect exercises and I can have the perfect routine, like based on movements written out for me. But if I don't bring it, you know, if I don't fucking go hard day in, day out, I'm not going to get the results I want. So it's kind of an even mix of like the intellect side, like the training optimally side, doing movements which are, you know, going to target specific areas of muscles in specific ways, and like doing drop sets or super everything, all sorts of mumbo jumbo you hear, right? That's a part of it. As you progress as a lifter, you should get more knowledge like that. Just, you know, basic training ideas and movements and how to set up shit. That's all well and good, but you have to couple that knowledge and that like experience with fucking your effort. You got to be able to fucking go crazy. So I think that in all honesty, that side is probably a little bit more important than this side. I think I could get pretty big if the only thing that I did in the gym for triceps, well, I mean, if I just did a routine for this whole bulk where I only did one movement per muscle, like let's say all I did was 8 sets of bench, 8 sets of pull downs, 8 sets of dumbbell curls, 8 sets of push downs, 8 sets of lateral raises. Like if I just did one movement for everything, if I went hard, I do think I would get some fucking results. But I also don't think that's the best case scenario. I want to change it up, right? Your body responds to different movements and sets and whatever else pretty well. So I think really what I'm trying to say is, you know, sure, work smart, but really make sure you work hard. I think that's my conclusive statement for this tricep pump. So let's go hit forearms. Feels pretty fucking wide. Let me turn this little fancy monitor so I can actually see what I'm doing. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't know about this lighting spot before kind of recently. I've been missing out. Okay. Now this is going to be a bitch to put back on, but whatever. It's not like getting sweaty and like drenching whatever shirt you're wearing is a sign that you had a really good workout. Because it could just be fucking hot in here. I mean, I feel like now that I'm a little bit bigger than I was before, for me, if I'm just in a room that's a little bit uncomfortably hot, I'll just be fucking pouring out sweat. So I could just be sweaty, just standing still. It's not really a sign that I did a lot of shit in the lift, but it doesn't hurt. You know, it does feel kind of cool to rip off a, you know, a fucking sweaty tank or a sweaty hoodie or whatever. But let's see how we're looking. Ooh. Yeah, let's see what this is looking like. Ugh. Ooh. So I'm pretty sure my left lat is a touch behind the right one. Not like brutally so, not like it's a imbalance that seriously jumps out at you, but like when I do well, okay, I guess you can't really tell there, but they're both pretty balanced in that shot. But yeah, my left one's a little bit behind, so that's why when I was doing those rows, I start off with the left arm. You know, I get so and so amount of reps, and then match it on the right. So if my left arm can only get 20, but my right side, well, my left side, and my right side can get 25, I'm still going to call the right one at 20, so the left one gets a touch more work, and it'll be able to kind of catch up to the bigger one. And the same kind of logic applies to, you know, any one-sided movement, be it like tricep pushdowns, curls, or leg extensions, whatever. If you're doing single-sided stuff, and you kind of, you know, you have a bit of an imbalance, then just start with the weak side, hit failure, and match the reps on the stronger side. I think doing extra sets for the weak side, like let's say my right bicep was considerably smaller. My right was considerably smaller than the left. I don't think it's in your best interest to do like an extra 5 sets of curls on the right and maybe do like 2 sets left on the left, 2 sets less on the left, because then I think it's just a weird imbalance of work. I don't know, I'm not into it. So that's kind of my stance on that matter. Let's get a front lat spread, and then we can go slam rear delts. Oh, I guess I didn't really do a front double bi. So that's it for back. Let's transition to part 2 of the lift, rear freaking delts. We got to take a break, pause the sets, and take a look at what we're working with. Okay. Oh. That feels rather small. Holy shit. I swear, looking at yourself in the mirror in pictures, I don't know, man. It's a little bit fucking different. Sometimes in the mirror, I feel like I look bigger. Sometimes I look bigger on the pictures. You know, don't get too, well, for one thing, just in general, don't get too fucking attached with like how you look. Like if I was a fucking, let's just say I was prone to some more body dysmorphia and I got really attached to like looking super striated and veiny, it would be fucking impossible for me to bulk, because I'd be like, oh crap, I don't want to lose my abs. I don't want to lose my veins. Fuck. You know, so just, I'd say it's probably a good idea to just correlate your effort with the value of your lifts. But enough. I feel like I'm losing track there. Let's just fucking flex. Oh. 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 Man, fuck, what else is there? Most muscular? I feel like such a meathead doing that one. No, but we've, so, chest thoroughly annihilated. Pretty satisfied with the intensity, plus well fed, well hydrated, so the results were pretty good too. And I got a ton of rest. Not only last night, but also today. I was just fucking sleeping the whole time, which was nice. So, one thing that is kind of a little bit of something you should keep in mind is don't just get rid of your fucking old tanks or old pump covers or your clothes or anything like that, because you can use that as a fucking measurement of your fucking progress. You know, I'll see if I remember to splice in a fucking picture of me. Maybe right here I'll try to splice it in if I fucking remember. But it's me as like a 180 pounder, and I'm wearing this exact same fucking shirt at McDonald's. Pretty solid difference. That is if I fucking find it. But yeah, man, this shit used to be baggy on me, and now it's not. So, you know, obviously record your weight over time. Maybe record your fucking, you know, your cold and pumped arm measurements over time. Right? I'm not too anal about like tracking all my lifts, because I kind of just have a good mental gauge of my strength. So when I think about like my progressive overload or so, I kind of just remember it in my head. I don't have a little training notebook or anything like that. But it's good to track your shit sometimes, just because you can look back over it. As long as you were reasonably disciplined for a long enough period of time, then you can see a fucking trend line. So, enough of that little progress rant. Let's go spam some side laterals of, well, I don't know. I might just do one movement. I'll have to see how I feel after a couple sets on the seated side lateral machine, as it were. And then I think another thing that helped with that was I didn't get too anxious about the squats. You know, I was talking about this in my last leg day, that I'm trying to reach a point of like fucking enlightenment where I don't even need to get hyped up to do a hard set of squats. I just kind of walk up to the bar and do it. And I kind of felt like that today. So, are we looking pumped? Jesus, dude, I fucking feel pumped, that's for sure. Ugh. Fucking veins popping out of nowhere. I'll be looking from the back. Dude, I gotta fucking sit down. My lower back is still so fucking pumped from those squats. Like, it's almost hard to fucking stand up. Yeah, definitely satisfied with this leg day. Effort-wise, definitely satisfied. But also, everything just kind of fucking clicked. Hamstring curls felt sick. Felt super strong in the leg extension. Knees weren't bothered at all when I did those 2 sets of squats. I think after warming up with leg extensions, my whole fucking system is just primed for going heavy, because that did not bother my adductors at all. Like these kind of muscles in here which like squeeze your legs together. These have kind of been bothering me on heavy squats, but I don't feel it at all when I do leg extensions before the squats. So this is sick, man. I'm definitely going to follow this basic style for the, you know, for at least the rest of the bulk, unless I find out some new shit about some kind of leg press superset or whatever. But quads, hamstrings fully stimulated. I'm going to go camp out on the adductor machine and then pop my butt on the seated calf machine. Get a calf and a fucking adductor pump. But that'll just be for me. I'll only add in those extras every couple leg days to fucking spice it up. But let's get in the fucking car, man. Solid ass fucking leg day. That is for damn sure. I'm in a rush, so I don't want to inhibit the lift by saying some smack in between sets or whatever. But let's just let the arm pump speak for itself. So yeah, I mean, I am a little torn. I felt like I was approaching fully pumped, and the buy is on set 5. So it's like, is that my cue to be done? You know, I'm not really sure yet. I definitely know that I wouldn't want to do so many sets that, like, let's say I do this much volume, you know, and I hit my fully pumped level at halfway through. I wouldn't want to keep going beyond that. So, you know, the concept of volume, it is on my mind. It is something to think about. But I don't think you're going wrong with, like, you know, 6 sets per body part up to maybe 12-ish sets per body part. And even then, I'm sure the, like, let's say, quote unquote, level of stimulus that you get from 6 to 12, it's probably still a pretty flat peak. Like, I'm sure somewhere in there on any given day is the perfect amount of volume. But as long as you're close, I think you're good. I think you're freaking good. If you go heavy, you finish with a pump, what else can you ask for? So let's run through some classics here. Oh yeah. I definitely fucking feel pumped, that's for sure. Oh. All right, side try, and then I'm gonna finish forearms and calves. Oh, damn. Oh yeah. So I did get a measuring tape. I forgot to bring it, but right now cold. So in the morning before eating anything, they're both 19 inches. So pumped. They've got to be approaching 20. I don't think they're 20 yet. I think they might be 19 3/4. Hard to say. 20 inches pumped. That's a pretty badass number. But to have your arms get to 20 inches cold, just walking around, no pump, no nothing, You hit a flex and they're 20 inches around. That is a solid ass fucking milestone. But, you know, I'm sure even once I hit 20, I'll be like, all right, now it's time for 21s. So don't get attached to, you know, numerical goals. Try to make sure you're just hyped up with progress in general. I think that's a better mindset for longevity. That's my 15 minutes cue. I'm gonna go slam calves and forearms and then let's get in the car. So one thing I do like about the button up is easy removal. You know, especially with a back pump, depending on the shirt, I've actually got some fucking trouble taking it off. Just because, I mean, with a chest pump, it's not as crazy. Like, it's just stuff in here. But a full back pump, like, honestly, I was getting a little worried I was going to rip this shirt doing the rows. I'm lucky it kind of has a little bit of stretch to it. All right. So, let's just do front lat spread first, and then we can turn around for the real money shot. Oh, I almost feel like it's hard for me to get my fucking arms into a good position for a double bi. My back is so tight, they don't want to like turn upward. But let's see how it looks from the back. Oh, I can already see some fucking veins creeping out. Okay. Oh. Not really complicated in terms of the poses for back. Lat spread, front double bi, and then the same shit in reverse. So I'll have to review the footage to see just how crazy the back lat spread and back double bi shot were. But again, just by feel, like even if I weren't to have even checked this pump, I would know that it was pretty good. Like you kind of get a subjective sense of the, like, I kind of almost want to say like the internal pressure of my lats and my traps and everything else back there. But solid back day. Guaranteed contributed to some fucking growth. Now just time to finish it off with rear delts and calves.